Hello everyone, Randy here, and we're going to attempt to start the chainsaw here, a Husqvarna 395XP. Last time I tried to use this thing, it did not want to start, so yeah, we're going to give it a try here. This thing, for those of you who have ever tried starting a Husqvarna 395, that's a hard pull on that rope. So let's get it set on the ground here. And hopefully you guys can see this as well. Pushing the compression button, make sure it's on. I believe that's on. I'm going to turn the choke on. I believe I checked the fuel already, just double check. Yes, there is fuel in there. So let's give this a try. Doesn't sound promising, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to say it's not going to start. So we're going to bring it back up to the bench here. And let's start taking stuff apart. Okay, I need a screwdriver. And what I'll do is just give you guys a little history of this saw. I think it was about a year or two ago. My coworker had a large tree he was going to cut down. Yeah, I'll point it up here. Large tree he cut down. Needed some help cutting the bigger pieces. I'm like, well, my grandpa's got a Husqvarna 395. My grandpa, or was my grandpa's chainsaw, I should say. And yeah, brought it out there. Gave it a couple pulls. Wouldn't start. Put a new spark plug in it. Fired right up. It's like, yeah, there we go. Got 2 pieces of wood with it, and it died. Pulled and pulled and pulled, and it wouldn't start. Turns out, and we'll get in there. Yeah, I think, I don't know if it's a magneto or whatever it's called inside here, was dead. So got a new one of those, put that in, fired it up, cut 2 more pieces. For some reason this chainsaw apparently likes to cut 2 pieces and then die. Cut 2 more pieces and it died. So after doing some looking around, got into the carburetor, which is right underneath here. There's some filters and screens in there that were plugged up. Cleaned those out. In the process of doing that, broke the fuel line. Yeah, it was dry rotted. So needed to be replaced anyway. You guys probably ain't gonna be able to see it. But right up in there, brand new fuel line. I got one of those fuel lines that are not supposed to rot. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but it's supposed to be a special fuel line, not supposed to dry rot like that. So, put that in, fired up, cut, I think I cut 1 or 2 more pieces, and then it died again, and it hasn't started since. So, I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with it. The gas is good, or was good, I should say. It does take oil, of course. You got to put gas with the oil, and that's separate thing from your bar and chain oil. So we're going to take a look at this thing, see if I can figure out why it don't start. I've got a sneaky suspicion the piston and cylinder are bad. It got ran one time without oil in the gas, and for you folks to know, that is not good. So I've got a sneaky suspicion the cylinder's scored up, and that's probably why it's not working as good as it should. Even when I did have it running, it didn't have the power like it should. Like I said, it got ran one time without oil in the fuel. And oh, it doesn't say the mixture on here. It's probably like a 32-to-1 or 50-to-1, something like that. I don't remember what, but okay. We'll start taking this off, I guess. Well, that's gonna be a Phillips. Go figure. Phillips. They gotta mess with you a little bit. Put a few straights and a few Phillips in there. Actually, you know what, before I do this, maybe we'll do one more test, because I can do that. Actually, maybe we'll do 2 more tests. Just happen to think of this. I'll put these back in. Let's do a compression test. That would be probably the best way to tell if a cylinder is scored up. And can I also do a spark test too? So let me grab my spark plug tester, and I'm going to grab my compression tester a moment here, and I'll be right back. Okay, compression tester and spark plug tester. Folks, I've never seen these before. Very, very useful tool. Tell you right away if you got a problem with your spark or not. Assuming this thing works anyway. That was the only thing I worried about. It's like, okay, I don't know if your bulb in there's burned out. Well, I guess you put it on one that you know that's working, that'll tell you. But anyway, let's pull that off, stick that in there. Stick that on the spark plug. And what you guys want to see, now maybe I can bring you closer. Let's see what's here. And I want to see a flash in here from the spark. Now I should probably tighten this up here somehow. Maybe I'll grab some zip ties. I don't want to do nothing too permanent yet because I'm on a plan on taking this apart. But when I bought the new magneto in here, it did not come with the this boot on it, with the piece inside there. You guys probably can't quite see that. That actually connects to the spark plug. It just came with a wire. It's like, well, that's crap. So I had to take the one from the old one. And of course it's all molded in there, so that don't work so good. Yeah, I'll grab off. Just make sure we got a good tight connection here. Looking a bit Frankensteinian here with these things sticking out. Anyway, let's see. Can I hold that? Can I do it like that? Maybe you guys can see that. Now it is daylight out here, so I'm not sure if maybe if I stand in front of it here. Let's make sure those are all closed. Saw's on. I'm not seeing it sparking here. Yeah, that could be my issue, maybe. Let me bring it to a darker room here where you can actually see. That's one thing I've noticed. That's one problem with these things. You got a pull start model. The light sometimes doesn't flash very bright. So let's grab that a moment and come along. Happens to be dark in here, so look at the camera, hopefully. Try to set that. Actually, you know what? If I put it like this and bring you guys over here, hopefully, yeah, this camera, I think the camera's focusing. I want to look for a flash right there. Oh yeah, I can see that on the camera. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me give it a couple more pulls here. So we're definitely getting spark. I'm not sure how good a spark. That might be the only question. So, but we definitely have spark. So like I said, folks, very, very invaluable tool for testing something like that. So okay, let's go back out to the daylight. Set that chainsaw back up here. And I'll set you guys over here. Let's get my Frankensteinian. Actually, I can probably pull it out. Yeah, I can. Excellent. And let's just do a compression test here. So, spark plug. I don't know if you guys might not even be able to see that. Spark plug right up there. Grab a couple of spark plug. Oh, not that one. Oh. Well, it's not a common size apparently. You have a spark plug socket here. Folks wondering what the difference with a spark plug socket is. It's got a rubber inside there. There's a rubber inside the socket that helps hold it. So let's see what size this possibly is. 3/4 or 3/4. Now this actually is a brand spanking new spark plug. Last time it quit, it's like, well, maybe it's a spark plug again, so I put a brand new one in it. So as you can see, it's never even ran, brand new. And I have checked the gap there. It is the correct gap. I don't know why it would be wrong, but I did check it just for the fun of it. So yes. So there's the spark plug hole right there. We're going to get the compression tester set up and give it a compression test. Now for that, should probably pull this decompression lever thingy out here. All that does is makes it easier to start. This thing pulls really hard if you don't, and I mean really hard. So let's get our compression tester here. Oh, and eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What size do you guys think that is? How about that one? Hey, what do you know? First try, and I got it right. And I'll grab the compression tester here. Now I'm not entirely sure what the compression on this engine is supposed to be. Maybe the manual would say, I'm not sure, probably not. That's the biggest thing when you do a compression test, so it's like, what's it supposed to be? So we're going to hook that up. Tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a couple pulls here and then I'll hold the gauge up so you guys can see it. Well, bring it guys a little closer. After, what was that, 5-6 pulls there. Oh, I just bumped the decompression. We'll say I was 50 pounds. So let me give it a couple more pulls and see if I can get it any better. Actually, no, I'm going to set this on the ground. Okay, after a bunch of pulls, and by the way, that thing pulls hard, we're up to about 80. Now, I'm no engine expert here, but from what I know, 80 is not a particularly good number. My guess for this one would probably, it should probably be like 120. That would be my guess, at least to 100. Typically, every time I've ever done a compression test on a good engine, usually you hit 100 no problem. So that, in my opinion, is not particularly good. Plus, it took a lot of pulls to get there too. Most of the time I've done compression tests, usually 3-4 pulls, you're at the maximum. Whereas this one, I probably pulled that, what, a dozen times? I'd have to go back to look at the footage, see if I can listen to the sound of it, see if I can tell how many times I actually pulled it, but So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That is actually our problem, compression problem. So like I said, I want to see if I can get a look at this cylinder here, see if I can see if it's scored up. I know the top of the piston looks quite nasty, so let's see. I got the spark plug over there. Let's start taking it apart now. For real this time. Make sure we don't lose any screws here. And all that is just the pull cord in there. Which incidentally, I had to replace the pull cord too. That broke as well while trying to pull started all those times when it didn't want to work. So, brand new pull cord. Maybe don't quite look it, but it was brand new. Actually, I went through 2 brand new pull cords. All the pull starting I did on it. I broke the one that was on it. It probably wasn't the original one. This thing pulls so hard, you gotta like replace it every now and then. Put a new one on it. Did a bunch of pulling. That one broke. Put another new one on it. That is supposed to be like a really good one, by the way. Like 400 pounds of pull force or something like that. Break it. Anyway, I'll grab you guys here a moment. So there is, like I say, I'm not sure if that's a magneto or whatever they call it. It's the thing, doohickey, that provides the spark for the engine. So, and that just simply goes up to my, spark plug there. So it looks pretty clean in there. Should be clean. Actually, there's a surprising amount of crap in there. I'm not sure why. It was real clean when I last used it. So I don't know if we got to take anything else here out. Start with the top of it here. And for that, I am going to have this off. That is a smaller screwdriver. Actually, I'll just set you guys back over here a little distance so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Carburetor down in there. Okay, I guess there's just 3 screws on that unit. Okay, a little sharp, kind of annoying me. I'll probably end up taking that off just because it's in the way, but cover off there. I think that's good. Okay, so hopefully you guys get a nice good view of that carburetor there. Your filter intake probably should have a new air filter. Maybe that doesn't look particularly good. I can try maybe giving it a huff of cracks. Actually, you know what? I don't have any crack. starting fluid, for those of you who don't know what that is. That might help. Ah yes, there you guys can hopefully see the fuel line. That yellow stuff, that's supposed to last like a long time, supposedly. So, okay. There's probably two ways I can get a look at the cylinder. Either through the carburetor here, which I don't really care to take the carburetor out again. Kind of a pain. Really requires a lot of disassembly, by the way. And there's some springs up in here, by the way, that I had to clean. So that's where those were. Completely plugged, so it wasn't getting any fuel. Or I can take the exhaust off. Now that's one big honking exhaust on there. Now I've been told when you take the exhaust off, expect your nuts to break when you put them back on. So, not 100% sure I want to take the exhaust off either. But I think that's going to be the best bet. That's just my opinion. So let's see if we get this bar off. 20... I'd like to say it's 28-inch bar. Or 24-inch. That one was good and tight. There we go. Helps if you take the brake off there. There's the bar, chain. Got our clutch in here, by the way, that's the clutch. I'm going to put these nuts back on there. Best place to store loose nuts, by the way, is back where they came from, if you can anyway. That way you ain't got to worry about losing them. So let's get a look at this exhaust here. Looks like we got a couple nuts here, Allen keys, and a couple nuts up here holding it. Oh, that's too big. Now I have not actually been this far into the engine with the taking the exhaust off yet. Pretty much ended up having to cut the piece, a large piece I was hoping my coworker cut with another chainsaw. My grandpa's got a 410, I think it's a 410. I forget the brand of it again. Whoever has a 410 chainsaw ended up cutting it with that instead. Oh, I'm gonna have to make note. I hate it when they do this. You got a shorter one and a longer one. Yeah, now you gotta remember which, where the shorter and the longer one came from. Lovely. And this one Allen key has a whole bunch of crap in it, so I'm gonna dig that out before I can get it out here. that's tight, my goodness. There we go. Now, more than likely, the reason these nuts break when you take them off is there's probably some sort of torque spec you're supposed to follow. I don't know what that is, so when I put them back on, I'm probably not going to torque them down that much. Not bigger than that yet. And it's metric. Go figure. Nope, okay. Grab another socket set here. Yeah, so how about a 10mm? That's, I don't know if I can show you guys this. Let's see once here. Yeah, I think you guys can see that's like some sort of weird nut with a cut in it. I turn around to the other side. You don't see that. That's a weird nut. I've never seen one like that before. The other one's the same way, so I'm assuming that must be by intention. They're not that tight, that's for sure. Okay, something's holding up here, I'm not sure what. Oh, you know what? It's probably this piece on the side here, so let me take this off a moment. This piece here, by the way, is good for biting into trees. That's what that is for. Ooh, that's a long one. Okay, that's off. Hey, slide right off. Okay, so that was in the way. I don't know how they call that a muffler. That's nothing but an empty box in there. I don't see no muffling going on. You guys probably won't be able to see in there, maybe.